feels really good about this ride that Kevin Harvick's gave him. Feels like he's got a lot of experience to get this 33 in victory lane based on how Kevin ran last week at Gateway.
Stephen Wallace is actually faster than the race leader. He has closed the gap. Trevor Bayne's lead is 0.2 of a second. Scott Lagacy is 2 seconds back in third. That's what it looks like between first and second as we have completed 20 laps of 200 here at O'Reilly Raceway Park. Leader has decided to take the high side, the outside lane, right alongside Stephen Wallace.
Stephen was quicker the last couple laps under green. Look on the bottom. Guys going 3 wide.
Saw Trevor's car bottom out a little bit. Sparks flew off under that thing. And whoa, look at this.
Keselowski, the 88, gets a little tap from the 33 of Ron Hornaday. And he comes right back and says, not going to settle for that. Well, I'll tell you what, Stephen Wallace taking a look underneath the race leader, but can't get it done. We saw this a lot last night in the truck race. You can get underneath to a degree on that low line, but you just can't seem to finish a deal.
And boy, it is so tempting to pull that nose down and try to make a pass. And if you're going to do it, I think you're going to have to do it while the tires are good or deep in the run when another guy just starts wearing out.
Once he figures this out, Rusty, I mean, the more he runs the bottom, the more rubber's going to build up, and the bottom's going to get a lot more grip as the night goes on. He'll be able to compete that class here in about 5 laps, I do believe.
Well, crash up in the, and it's Michael Annett.
Well, guys, you know, you heard that, and he didn't know what happened. He got run over.
Whoa,
oh, Trevor Bayne.
Trevor Bayne and the race leader. What happened here? All of a sudden, he gets spun around. It affects also Stephen Wallace. We're looking up at the crash damage, and all of a sudden, first and second place.
I got a feeling that they slowed down so quick because of the caution. It looks like Stephen might have got underneath him. Let's take a look at this in the replay here.
That goes back to one spotter saying, okay, caution in 3, and the other spotter not saying nothing.
Now, this was after the caution had come out. That's why you see them both heading back to their original positions.
Well, it's going to be interesting here, guys. You have to maintain a certain speed under caution.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for NASCAR. Let's take a look, see what happened here. There goes Annett.
Yeah, Annett just gets loose and gets in a wall right there, and that's all by himself right there. Just gets loose.
And when one spotter saying, okay, caution, turn 3.
So now the caution's out. See the caution waving on the right-hand side. Stephen Wallace right behind him. Oh! That's what happened. They just checked up because the caution car tries to pull out in front of the field right
yes,
there.
Yes, he did. Caution car come out a little early there.
Unbelievable. Way too early.
They were both on the brakes. How'd you see the caution car jumping out?
Oh, yeah. Trevor Bayne sees it.
Because he knows you can't pass the caution car.
So Trevor gets on the brakes, and Stephen goes right up underneath him. So we've got David Ruderman now cracking into the top 10. This is all these yellows are helping all of our double-duty drivers. We'll explain why when we come back here to O'Reilly Raceway Park. Then we saw what happened when the pace car all of a sudden jumps out onto the track. Our race leader, Trevor Bayne, slowed quickly, and second place was not able to get there, as we'll take another look at it as Stephen Wallace went right up underneath him.
We can take a look at this. Caution flake flies. They're both slowing down, but the pace car pulls out. Trevor gets on the brakes real hard. They just can't slow down.
Stephen's right behind him, and he's not even in the gas. The 99 car slowed up and got him spun out.
Shannon, what are you hearing down there?
Well, down here with Trip Bruce, who is pacing back and forth, what's the damage on the 66?
You know, I watched the replay, and I saw, all I've seen is the pace car came out, and it really collected the leaders, backed them up right there, and Stephen got involved in it. But U.S. Fidelis Chevrolet has been really fast and trying to keep everything cool in here in the pits. We can get a pit stop going here and get back up front. Okay.
All right, good luck to you guys.
Guys, meanwhile, Trevor Bayne is sitting and having the debate with his crew chief as to what happened, and here is his version. He said, I saw the pace car. He said, I got on the brakes and checked up because the pace car was already out on the racetrack. He says, Stephen didn't see it. He got into the backside of me, and now all of a sudden they want to try and move him back. They said, well, we'll argue as best we can, and if he stays in the position that he's in, it's not going to be the case. They have moved him back behind the, further back, I think it's behind the 18 or so, and he's not at all happy about this situation. He's right now, he has found his way behind Carl Edwards. This youngster is pretty upset about the turn of events, not of his making.
Yeah, that's got Stephen Wallace in 7th and Trevor Bayne in 11th. Now, the lucky dog goes to the 81 again. Remember, he's the only car out on the track that is not on the lead lap, so Michael McDowell now is only 1 lap down. Now, let's get back to this story at hand, because we saw this happen last year at Montreal, where if you did not maintain pace, you lost your position. But these guys are arguing, saying, wait a minute, you know, the car came out moments notice. Why should they be penalized for that? So that's the argument they're fighting.
Yeah, it's a tough one. This is definitely a call. NASCAR probably thinks they did it right. The competitors probably thought it was a little too aggressive to get that pace car out there that quick. And I will tell you, Trevor probably did see it, checked up really quick. Steven got in the back of him. There's no doubt about that. I really think that both of these drivers got a beef, though. I really do.
Well, one of the things, guys, that we're going to see, if they stay where they're at, these guys are going to have to keep their heads on, stay patient. They know they have very fast race cars, and work their way back up to the front.
Let's take another look from high above and watch the pace car at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it's just pace car comes out. It triggers Trevor to slow down. Steven can't get stopped quick enough.
Maybe that pace car was battery powered.
But a good thing about this, neither one of these drivers have much damage at all. I don't think it's going to affect their cars a bit.
Jack, you've got more?
Yeah, Jerry Baxter is playing Dr. Phil right now with his young driver, because his young driver is getting a little upset. And Jerry just, and I'm going to paraphrase, just said, look, not a lot we can do about it. Take our licks, calm down. And Jerry said, I wish I could tell you how I really feel, but I know there's a lot of people up in the stands monitoring our radio, so we'll talk about it afterwards.
And here's the official word from NASCAR. They did not maintain caution pace speed, which is 45 miles an hour. We saw this happen at Montreal last year, and they weren't happy about it then, and these guys aren't happy about it now.
Well, I wouldn't be happy either. This is a situation where the pace car almost could have waited a lap to come back out, because Stephen Wallace was off the gas, and the 99 checked up because he didn't want to pass the pace car.
Guys, while all this was happening, got to tell you, Kyle Busch pitted on lap number 40. He gave up 12th position. He is now back in 25th. So take a look. That's the top 5 in your screen, and Stephen Wallace has moved up to 5th from 8th on that restart. But now he just got around for 4th around Jason Leffler, and
he was waving at the 88 a couple laps ago.
Tell you, that's pretty aggressive on the 88's
Look
car.
at 5.
That can flat make you loose.
That's right.
Whoa.
Inside, 3 wide. Come on, 5.
Leffler's trying to get in this mix as well with Scott Wimmer in the 5. You're on board with Stephen Wallace.
Extreme patience right now on these restarts. These guys are going for it.
Patience with a helmet on. You can't. Once you pull that helmet tight, your patience goes out the window.
Little rub there between Edwards and the 38 of Leffler there. Shannon, you've got more on the Team Rusty Wallace?
Yeah, the RWI cars, you see them right next to each other, the 66 and the 62. Both of those cars are battling snug conditions, a little bit tight. Stephen Wallace in the 66 said it's very snug when he gets back on throttle. When they do come down for a pit stop, Trip Bruce has said, we're going to give you an air pressure adjustment. We need you to be able to get back on throttle. The guy who can do that will be the guy who wins.
Meanwhile, take a look as Stephen Wallace is all over the back bumper of the 38 Great Clips Toyota of Jason Leffler. And here comes Kyle Busch to challenge the 66 as well.
And you see Kyle Busch trying to go to the bottom of the 66, knowing that the 66 went down there. So now he's choosing a top lane, trying around to go on the outside.
The reason we're staying on this, let you know up front, Scott Wimmer has pulled out almost a full second lead. So this is the best battle on the track. And look at Kyle and Leffler and Stephen keep moving and dicing to try and make that position work, and Leffler's hanging on to the spot right now.
Now, you think there's patience between any of those guys?
Well, there's not patience right now, but Randy, they're going to have to exercise it. I really think so.
Hopefully they can spell it. You know,
it's so hard to do that on short track races.
Yes, it is.
These guys get all jacked up.
Right behind that threesome is David Ruderman in the 32, and he's sort of laying back saying, I'm going to let you three sort of fight this